Hey everybody, how's it going? Got a new episode of Clone Evolution. Tonight I'm going to be answering some more viewer questions, and I'm also going to be doing some more battling so that I can hit the vape. No, but the viewer question was asking, one of the topics I discussed in my last video was all about PS5 and if they're going to be paying players to play the games or not. Because I was thinking a lot of the programs these days do pay players to play. So I would cover that today. Going to answer how you can get paid to play video games. That's actually how I started playing this game. I know a lot of people posted in the comments that they were doing the offer for Roblox. It's like the currency in that video game Roblox, I think. I haven't tried it yet because the company that I'm doing the offer for doesn't pay you in Roblox, it pays you in cash, like real money. So that's why I was saying that you can get paid to play games. Because I got paid to play this one. I think I got paid around $20 US to play this one. And I got paid that much in order to get 3 orange heroes. But yeah, if you're wondering, the company that I use to do the offer to get paid cash instead of Roblox, it's beneath me in the link. It's called Hideout TV. And I originally started getting into Hideout TV because I do another offer company called Entropia Partners. And Entropia Partners is the company that I first started raising money with because I play Entropia, and they help Entropia players raise money for Entropia. And it's basically the same jazz as Roblox, except Entropia's currency is convertible to real US dollars. You can withdraw. So I don't think you can withdraw on Roblox. If anyone wants to post in the comments if that's possible, but I'm pretty sure Roblox is one of those currencies where it goes into the game, but you can't actually withdraw it. Yeah, so it's kind of a long story. You can see why I didn't want to post it in the chat. Holy, did I just win that? I hope so. Tempted to play that number 1 team. I bet you I could beat them, but fuck, they're 1400, so I better not. Play it safe and help my team out. They need some points. Now it's fucking freezing today, so I can start wearing normal shirts again. Sorry for wearing the same muscle shirts all the time. It's when it's boiling hot, I don't have much choice in clothing. I got 2 or 3 of the same jersey, so if you see me wearing the same one all the time, it's not actually the same one. Just to clarify that. Yeah, so how it works is I was doing Entropia Partners one day, and they're like, hey, do you want to get paid to watch some videos? Because Entropia Partners offers everything. They offer surveys, they offer videos, they offer different video games that you can play. And all of them you're using to help them generate ad revenue. And they take a cut of that ad revenue and pay you out. So the one day they're like, hey, do you want to watch Hideout TV? If you watch Hideout TV, you can take the points from that and convert it into Entropia Partners. And then I could get it into Entropia and have it as real cash, right? So that's what happened is I started watching Hideout TV, and it's similar to YouTube. It's like, or it's more similar to TikTok. It's like short, well, some of the videos aren't shorter, but a lot of them are. Anyways, it's video service like YouTube and TikTok where you watch videos, except it's called Hideout TV. And every time the ads play, you get a portion of the ad revenue. And it's sick. So I was like, oh yeah, I've been watching Hideout TV videos for a long time. And then all of a sudden Hideout asked me, they're like, hey, or they're sending out links to everyone. They're like, do you guys want to start playing video games in order to make Hideout points that can convert to cash? It's like, fuck yeah. It's like, I want to play video games for that. And I tried it with other companies before. Like, there's a whole shitload of websites that offer it. I'm just going to mention the ones that I use because I've tested them, and the ones that I found the best are the ones that I mention. And also the ones that I have referrals with. Now, you can pretty much get referrals with any of them. So anyways, yeah, maybe in the description of this video down below, not only will I put Hideout, but I'll put Entropia partners, and I'll put a few of the other companies that have affiliate links with that you can play video games for money. And people are trying to figure out, like, how the hell does this concept work where companies are able to pay you to play a video game? Like, that seems like a mind-blowing concept, right? So how it works, I don't know, like, gamers that have been around a long time probably remember this, but video games never used to have in-app purchases. So like when you bought a video game, you never had to buy additional stuff. And then eventually video games phased in in-game purchases. But it's reached the point now where the companies that have these games released with in-game purchases realize in order to get people hooked to make these in-game purchases, they started giving the games free. Like a PlayStation Online, I don't know if you've ever gone to the PlayStation Network and set the setting to free. If you do that, it gives you a whole bunch of these great free games, but they're just loaded with in-app purchases, right? So you can play the whole game for free, it's just you have lots and lots of options to buy extra shit. So some of these companies realized, like when they're talking to investors, they're like, if their game comes out and say they get 1,000 people to play, the chances of them getting a lot of in-app purchases from those 1,000 players is very, very low, right? And then they realized, hey, like, if we want to get a whole ton of in-app purchases, we got to get that player base up. So it can't just be 1,000, they have to get it up to 10,000. So like, those companies are like, how can we get 10,000 players to play our video game? So this is where these other companies come in. They're like, hey, we can get players to play your game if you give us a cut of this revenue, right? So that's how they started doing it, is these game companies realized that if they pay all these other different companies contracts to get players into the game, they will. And then that's how we get the money, is they're giving us a cut of that. So it's kind of like a long chain of middlemen. Game developers need players in their game in order to make in-app purchases. So they try to get as many players in as they can. It's sort of like a drug dealer, right? Like when he's selling crack. He tries to give crack free out in the neighborhood to as many kids as he can, hoping that one of these kids is going to love crack and then get hooked on it and buy it from him every week, right? Not that that's something someone should do. Something you should try to avoid, right? Come on, America. Smoke less crack. Anyways, yeah, so that's how this game thing works. Is they're trying to hope that they can rope people in that like their games enough that they'll deposit once they've tried it. I'm not sure if it's working out the greatest for the game companies, because maybe now their games are getting flooded with freeloaders, but so far so good. It's enough that the amount of players that are going in, some of them are depositing, and these developers are still making enough off the in-app purchases. So, good work, guys. You gotta keep making in-app purchases in order to keep this system going, I believe. No, so the list of games that you can play is pretty extensive. Now, I figure what I'll do is I'll bring up the Entropia partners on my studio home. I'll just show you guys my studio that I use for my normal show. Yeah, I also do podcasts for different ancient mystery stuff, so excuse the theming for this. What I'll do is I'll open up a link from my Hideout TV so you guys can see a list of the different games right now that you can play to make money. And I'll have the link below, so make sure if you're signing up to Hideout, for God's sakes, help me out. Please. Not ordering you to do it. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but I really appreciate it if you want to. If you want to help me, help you. So a lot of these things, oh here, I gotta bring it up on the page. So here's a lookout at my Hideout TV page. And here are some of the different apps that you can play, and it shows you how many different points you can get for each one. It seems like the offers for games right now are really low on this page. I don't even see the ones that I'm doing right now. Game Hag, that's another one. I'll put the links in my description below. It's another page like this that has games that you can play. Yeah, so this offer wall with different games changes all the time, so you gotta come back and check every now and then. Yeah, the mobile app selection is really slow right now. So anyways, I'll show you another page that has more offers to play games. That one's actually kind of hurting right now. Maybe they lost some of their recent contracts. I don't know what happened with that. Alright, so the next one I'll show you guys is called Entropia Partners. This is the main one that I use the most. I'll just sign in. Yeah, you might recognize me already from other Entropia Partners videos. I also did a tutorial on how to win at the game Slago. If you click here and play Slago, you can use this game to win. It's temporarily disabled, which sucks. Seems like everything I'm trying to show you in this tutorial is temporarily disabled, but let's get on to some other offers. Isn't that usually how it goes? When you try to show someone how to do something, it's always when you fail to do it. And I hope there isn't any adult material on these ads. Holy shit. So you can see some of the surveys that I have here pay a lot, but you guys are probably here just for the games. So I'll try to find some games. Yeah, here's a list of some games. You can play this Lords mobile game. Final Fantasy is one. If you're wondering how much PED is the currency in that game I play, Entropia. And 10 PED works out to $1 US. So 57 PED would be $5.70 US to play Final Fantasy. And you can see that the games that are on here have a lot of that are pretty popular. Even some Minecraft stuff. See if I can switch it just to games. They did have one to play Star Trek to win money. I was going to do that one, but that might have already... Oh, yeah, here it is. Kings of Avalon. That's one that I'm playing right now to win PED. So I'll probably do some tutorial videos on it soon too. So yeah, whatever ones are coming out that have the most, what I usually do is I'll check a game. Since you're only supposed to do the game on one site, I'll check every different site that pays you to play games and then see which one is offering the most. Yeah, so you can see this one has large amount of games right now. Oh, there's Clone Evolution. You can say that it paid 61 PED in order to beat it on this page. But when I did it with Hideout, they paid a lot more PED, I think. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it was over 100, so around double. So make sure you keep an eye out that you're checking all the different pages to make sure you don't do an offer for a game when you could have just did it on another page that would have paid out higher. But then sometimes pages have different cuts that they take when you withdraw, so you have to be able to check that. I know Hideout TV is good. I don't believe they take any cut that I've seen. I could be wrong about that. Someone put it in the chat. Yeah, so they'll keep updating the games with different games, and let's see. I'll bring up one more that I think had the most games that I've ever seen on an offer page. I think it was that one that they were advertising before on that other page. What was it called? GameKit? I'll try that. It's off. It's asking me to register, but I've already registered, so. No, a lot of these different ones require you to sign in regularly, so maybe it's been too long. Oh yeah, my GameKit one is still pretty active. So you can see this is how many points that I've earned on GameKit. And this was another one that I did an offer for. Getting a certain amount of levels and points on GameKit earned me money in Entropia. And you can see the selection of games they have at GameKit absolutely fucking kicks ass. They have so many different games you can play here. And a lot of them are really fun games. So if you're looking to pay or to get paid to be a gamer, GameKit's probably the #1 place. I'll put the link referral in that. I haven't got any referrals from any of the tutorials that I've been doing for years, so if anyone can help me and be the first one to sign up as a tutorial or as a referral, I really appreciate that. And if you don't, actually help me out in a way too, because maybe I could keep the streak going. Watch, I'll be doing referral tutorial vids for years and no one will ever sign up. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to get back to a little bit of clone evolution, but I hope you guys like that. This is kind of the direction I'm hoping that PlayStation goes in the future. Like, I'm hoping they start paying us to play games instead of making us pay for PlayStation Plus. Like, not that I hate PlayStation Plus or anything, but come on. It's like, I don't want to be paying monthly fees for something that other companies are paying you to do, right? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, so maybe if the PlayStation 5 offers that, that's the road I'll be going. If they start paying us to play games, then I'll switch back to PlayStation. But for now, I'm going to keep using GameKit, Hideout TV, different other pages that pay me to play games. Me. Now, I try not to be too self-centered all the time, but I found a lot of times in my life I was always living the opposite too much. So you have to focus on yourself a bit or you'll never succeed. If you dedicate your whole life to helping others, you'll end up usually drained. So now I try to do a little bit more of an even balance. Try to help myself and others equally. I remember at one point I was doing so much work that I was working, 80 hours a week at one job and doing a part-time job on the side when I wasn't at the other job. It's like, holy fuck, did I get burnt out? I think I did that for about 9 years before I burnt out, but then man, when I burnt out, it was hardcore. It's like I couldn't even pour a glass of juice without breaking down emotionally. And if anyone's going through rough times, just try to stay positive, optimistic. Things can always improve as long as you're still alive. It's like, hell, I'm gonna be 50 living in my mom's basement and I'm having the fucking time of my life. Speaking of, I'll have a quick message from our sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by Crack. It'll fuck you up. Thanks, sponsor. I think I had an idea for a new sponsor video today, but I should have wrote it down because I fucking forgot it. Remember, folks, never buy products from our sponsor. It'll fucking ruin your life. So one day YouTube's gonna send the message. They'll be like, "Hey, we don't think your channel is very commercially viable." I'll be like, "Why not?" What part wasn't commercially viable? Telling people not to buy products from the sponsor? Is that non-commercially viable? But really, in the society we live in, isn't telling people not to do stuff a form of advertisement? I hope not. Or else I'm in trouble. Now, wouldn't that be kind of neat if that's what the future of video games was? Like, when I was a kid, I always dreamed that somehow you could make a living playing video games. And back then, our vision of how that would work was you would enter a tournament and you'd play against other players and you'd make it rich or whatever, right? I guess those type of tournaments kind of evolved in gaming, but it's very exclusive, right? Like, you don't have like 8 billion people competing against each other. It's more of like 100 or something, maybe 1,000, I don't know. I don't know, like I haven't really got into the online gaming for money. Maybe people want to correct me in the chat. Like, how much does it cost to enter these tournaments? Are there millions of players competing against each other for money? And then, as I got a little bit older, I started to envision, hey, maybe instead of playing in giant tournaments like that, it'll be more like Poker Stars, where it's just a lobby of you and against another player, and you place bets, and whoever wins the match takes the money, sort of thing. So you don't have to win giant tournaments, you can just win one match. And then I figured maybe gamers would get rich doing that. And then it was the whole Twitch thing, where people started like YouTubing for money and stuff, playing video games. And then that really became the way to get rich doing it. But the same thing, it was almost like a very small amount of people are getting rich from doing it. You don't see billions of PewDiePies around that have made billions of money. It's more of like just a club for exclusive few that work their asses off to get their channels up there. So I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be kind of neat if gaming evolved to beyond that as well, where we're getting paid just regular amounts of money? Like, you could pay a 9 to 5 wage just for being a beta tester or something, where you don't have to go to a company and sign up or something, like work for Microsoft. You can just work from home. So I was thinking, yeah, maybe not just doing these in-app purchases, but maybe they'll start doing more beta testing where PlayStation will ask, like, do you want to work for PlayStation as a beta tester? That'll be part of their online service. I used to watch a lot of Star Trek when I was a kid, so I like to try to envision what the future will look like. Different ways to make it possible. Now what I've been doing is holding out on the event, so I have enough to do it more next time. I think I calculated it to be 360 tokens that I need in order to get the event prize of Crime Fighter. So that's my plan, is I'm going to get 450 points, unlock Crime Fighter. But I don't have enough to do it this round, so I'm hoping I save up enough casino event tokens by the time it comes back again. I think I saved up enough pieces to maybe evolve one green guy. No. No. Yes, what do you guys think about the future of gaming? Can you post in the comments below? Do you like the idea of getting paid to play games? Sort of like, you know, the whole timeshare thing too? I don't know if anyone has gotten to that point in their life, or they've gone to those meetings where people try to sell you a timeshare. It's the same principle. They're like, hey, try this vacation spot. If you pitch in some money, you guys can all pool in to own it. And they try to rope you in. They're like, oh, you can stay there for a week, see how much you like it. Or no, come to this meeting, we'll give you a free shirt. I know some people are against the whole in-app purchases thing, but I kind of take it as a challenge, where if I can beat the game without doing the in-app purchases, I'm even better of a player. It's kind of like when life is hard. Do you really want it to be easy, or would you rather it be more of a challenge? Like, think about it. If you were a video game designer and you were designing a holographic simulation of the entire universe and Earth, would you make Earth easy for people to live? Or would you crank up the difficulty and make it as hard of a fucking planet as you could, right? I know if I was in charge, man, the fucking difficulty would be cranked. I think what I'm going to do for today is do a little bit of a drip of vapor oil. If any of my viewers haven't seen how I drip vapor oil before, this tube that I have coming out of the screen, not only is it shooting vapors at me, but it also has a collection chamber. So eventually it fills with oil, and I can drain the oil into little fibers, like this. And then once I have a full fiber, I usually just use it as like regular Rick Simpson oil, where you can put dabs or drops of it onto anything. You can put it onto rolling papers. What I do is I do a vaporizer bowl of plant matter. And once the plant matter is completely dry, it's just like a little sponge of like tobacco colored dried out weed. Perfect for soaking up oils. Yeah, so what I do is I take a pin, take out enough for a bot. I don't know if you can see, but it's this really fucking nice, like, stringy red oil. Almost identical to cherry oil. And this is at the more refined stage of the vapor oil collector. I put the tank near the end of the track, so that when it collects, it's at the purest form. The chunkier stuff that's more like resin is at the beginning, and it filters it out. And people are asking too, what happens when the tank gets full? It just so happens that the tank, when it's full, you can turn on a fan that comes with the Extreme Q, and it'll heat up the tank. And then when the tank heats up, like, you know, if you take a fiver and you heat it up, what happens? The oil turns to a liquid. So I designed the tank so that it can run as a bong, and then it uses the vapor oil as bong water. So it's the only vaporizer that I know of that has a liquid tank as a liquid air filter that uses vapor oil as the filtration. And it collects more vapor as it filters through it. And technically it's not even really an invention, because it's a piece that's already used commonly. It's a, well, not commonly, but some people use it. It's an airless gas bubbler. It just so happens when you hook it up to an Extreme Q, it works really good. How I got the idea is when I was using the Extreme Q, I realized that vapors were collecting in it, But the catch was the vapors were collecting in a plastic tube or a rubber tube, and they tasted like rubber. So I ended up swapping it out with glass so that it would taste better when I collected it. And boy, did it taste better. There's that beep again. Has anyone heard it and been able to identify it? Does your phone make that beep? I hope it's not the temperature warning. Maybe it's something to do with the internet. Now I've reached over the month mark, I believe, for doing daily streams. And as far as technical glitches go, I worked out a bunch, but I didn't fix all the live stream technical issues. So I'm still hoping when the tablet arrives that I can work out this black screen issue by hooking it up directly. And then once I'm doing the live stream, I'll be able to do some live chat. Hoping you guys, any of you players, also have webcams so that we can get some not only live callers for the live streaming of Clone Evolution, but even some player chat going. That'd be sick. Then I'm going to expand that to doing some Entropia shows. I've been promising some Entropia players to do some live streams with them soon. Yoshi. Who else was I planning with? Lord Spade, I believe his channel's called. Yeah, and then once I've got all that done, then I'm going to move on to doing, well, not move on, but start including doing more of my paranormal stuff. Might getting into doing interviews with some pretty wild guests. And if any guys are into real life magic and occult stuff. But I also like video game stuff a lot too, so I'll keep doing Clone Evolution. Seems like I'm getting a lot of lag now, so it must be close to overheating time. So hopefully I can finish the last couple of these. Now I really appreciate the viewer questions too. The guy who was asking me has been one of my regular viewers, and appreciate you for watching, man. It's like, if you guys weren't watching, I wouldn't keep making them. So really this is all thanks to you. Smoke less crack. For a second I thought that was the vapor oil. It's like, man, it tastes like shit. I forgot to put the new bowl in. It's like, God, brain, what did I ever do to you? Now today's freezing. It's like we're almost back to winter. We have like frost warnings again. People had to cover plants. I used to be into like assembling greenhouses and using them to keep my plants alive longer. But it just so has it, we also have like severe hurricane winds occasionally. It always destroys my greenhouse and crushes all my plants. Thinking maybe I'll have to upgrade to metal greenhouses. Metal and glass. I've tried a lot of the build-it-yourself ones. That's probably the problem. Not probably, it is the problem. It's so sweet. After tasting absolute shit weed for a while, nice hoot of vapor oil. Oh, it's like heaven. I finally managed to get out and play a game of disc golf with my buddies. The whole lockdown situation's been relaxed a bit where I live. So now we can have gatherings of 10 people. Even though there's riots going up and down the street with thousands of people all standing right next to each other, yelling and screaming with no masks. But apparently we law-abiding people still have to. Now it is nice to get back outside again. It's crazy to think how many of our rights got taken away. All for something that was maybe twice as bad as the flu. Maybe. The one thing I learned about this whole situation is the flu kills a hell of a lot of people. Flu is not something you want to fuck with. You know what's weird too is you can never get the same flu twice. So it's like once you've had one flu, you won't ever catch it again. But you can get mutations of different flus. And apparently the same thing happens with COVID. So you might need to get a vaccine like every 3 months if you hope to keep on top of the mutations. I don't know, if you're into injections, maybe that's good. Alright. I was thinking if they started putting weed in vaccinations, they'd probably get a lot more people willing to inject them. I know when I was a kid, it's like in high school, they were trying to get us to vaccinate for something. A lot of the kids were skipping it. And then they came out with the message saying that you couldn't have a cigarette after or it would give you a really strong head rush. Everyone's like, alright, I'm getting the vaccine and then going for a smoke. And it was pretty good. Yeah, I don't remember which vaccine that one was. The only other battle that I've been working on to try to beat lately is the dungeon. And I've made it to level 120. So let's give that a sweep and go. The good old hump and dump. I tried this match a few times earlier. Got my ass kicked pretty bad. The only way I have a chance is if I freeze a lot. So I upgraded my Uncle Joe to see if he could freeze a little better. We had that chick down to 1 hit. So I'm pretty sure it's only a matter of time until I beat her. I'll probably beat her tomorrow. For now, she's just a cut. Better not say the C word. Look at that, I froze her. Still wasn't enough. Bloody gaping cockhole! Man, oh man. Alright, I am a loser. Alright, thanks again for watching the show, everyone. Hopefully I covered all the viewer questions in the chat. If anyone's had a chat question that I haven't answered yet, just make sure to post it again in YouTube right underneath it. I don't care if you guys keep posting stuff and flood my videos with a whole bunch of messages. More messages the better. And I really appreciate everyone for liking, subbing, sharing the videos. And let's see, if you happen to see any red ants go by and they carried sugar and threw sugar into your vaporizer and you vaporized that and it tasted awful, then give the video a dislike. I don't know if you ever burnt sugar, but it fucking smells nasty when you burn it. So I imagine vaporizing it is just as bad. Alright, thanks everybody, and make sure that you never ever purchase the products from our sponsor. Catch you later.